Ananda, now talking about space, the nature of space has no form. Like the empty space, of course, there is no form. Up till now, humanity still does not know how big is the cosmic space, where its boundary is. Anybody knows how big the sky is? Not even the scientists know. Where is the boundary of the great ocean? Where is the horizon? How big is the sky? Because when there is any boundary, then it shows the space. Sakyamuni Buddha gave another analogy. There is the city of Shilo far from the river. All the royalties that live in that city, the brahmins, which is the scholars, spiritual cultivators, vaishyas, the merchants, sudras, the farmers, and the laborers, butchers, etc. Build new settlements, move to the city, they have to dig wells to obtain water because they had no water. When they remove 1 foot of earth, 1 foot of space appears. If they dig to 1 yard, they gain 1 yard of space. The depth of space depends on how much earth is removed. Sakyamuni Buddha gave this example. Does this space arise from the soil? Or from the act of digging? Or does it exist on its own without any cause? Ananda, if the space arises without cause, then before the earth was broken open, why would there be no passage? So if you don't dig the earth, how could there be space? Only the ground, an unbroken stretch of ground. There was no space. If space arises because soil is removed, then when the soil comes out, space should be seen to enter. That's not the case. It's there automatically. If the soil emerges first without space entering, how can you say that space arises from the earth? When you dig the soil, naturally there is space in there. If you dig a foot, there's a foot of space, but you don't see the space going in. So where does space come from? It's not from the sky, it's not from the earth, it's not from the tool, because the tool is on the hand. It does not generate the space, the earth does not generate the space, and the sky does not generate the space either. So what he meant is that the space has no location. So when the soil comes out, how come space does not come in? So if there is neither entering nor exiting, space does not come from the tool either. You cannot see the space. You need to examine it more carefully, that the implement is in the hand of the person and the soil moves because the earth is displaced. So where does space come from? Therefore, space neither merge nor combine. If this space is ever present, all-pervading and unmoving, then you should know that the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, wind, and space, each fundamentally complete, perfectly interpenetrating. They are all the Tathagata Garbha, or the wondrous luminous true mind, without arising or ceasing. So Ananda, your mind is confused and does not realize that the 4 great elements are the Tathagata Garbha itself. Does space come forth or return? It does not come nor go. You do not know that the Tathagata Garbha, the nature of awareness, is true emptiness, and space is true awareness. Innate and pure, pervades all Dharma realms. It manifests according to the minds of sentient beings and the measure of their perception. So Ananda, one well reveals one space. A single space reveals one well. Throughout the 10 directions, space is the same, perfectly complete in all directions without any fixed location. All appearances arise in accordance with karma. The world, lacking true knowledge, become confused, believing in causes and conditions or inherent nature. Yet these are merely discriminations of mind consciousness, empty words without real meaning. So this part is about the space. Up till now, nobody knows how big the cosmic space is. We only see one sun, one moon, and the 9 planets in the solar system. But there's so many stars in the solar system. You never know. No matter how advanced the science is. I think someone said there are 100 suns in the world. It's just that the rays of those suns did not reach you. So the moonlight is the reflection of the sunlight, right? That's why the cosmic spaces cannot be measured. And there is no specific form either. We often chant that the heaven is round and the earth is square. That's not the case either. The heaven is not round either. Because if it is, then there would be form. The space is in the sky, but how big is the sky or the heavens? You don't know. Is it round? Is it square? You don't know. You still don't know until now. Some people say there are 100 suns because we don't see the other 99 suns, so you think they don't exist. So the mountain is near and the moon is far. You think that the mountain is bigger than the moon, but actually the moon is much bigger than the mountain. But if your eyesight is as big as the whole sky, then you know that the moon is much bigger than the mountain. How big is the heaven? Nobody knows. How big is the sky? There is no fixed location. So when we talk about the sky, however you say is fine. It's all correct. However, that's no real meaning because we never know how big it is. That's spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha about the empty space. So, like Amitabha Sutra, 2600 years ago, it's already stated that from here to the west, passing trillions of Buddha lands. Just imagine how far that is. It's impossible to count even how many zeros that is. Ex-President Marcos from Philippines took all his money to Hawaii. The custom is impossible to count. They just count one box and then multiplied by the number of boxes that fill the whole plane. It's impossible. How can you count the sky? You know, that's just one plane, but the whole sky, the whole cosmic space, how can you measure it? But 2600 years ago, Sakyamuni Buddha already knew that from here to the west, passing through 10 trillion Buddha lands to get to the Sukhavati. We would never know. We can't even count the sands of Ganges River. And he always used the sand of the Ganges River as an analogy. How many of them? The cosmic space is truly big. It has no fixed form, no fixed location. It's indescribable.